Janet Kuypers is a published
Poet,
she's a songwriter, singer, and she comes to us from her own asteroid belt. Janet Kuypers. Hi, just recently I run Scars Publications, which publishes 2 literary magazines, and one of them in my hand right here is Down in the Dirt magazine. This month it is called The Painting. They come out right now every other month as ISBN books that you can get through Amazon, which is so cool because every once in a while I see somebody buying it in the UK or something. I'm like, that's so amazing. Somebody from Europe bought this, great. Anyway. I'd like to share a few poems from this book that I happen to have in this book, and I'm also going to be reading from this book at a feature reading on Wednesday at Half Price Books, 55 North of the Barn, on Wednesday at 2 in the afternoon. So I'll keep this and possibly more. So first things first, I wanted to share with you this funny one. We made a joke about it today as we were driving. John said, well, if I get behind the cop, should I go speeding? And I said, only if he speeds away, then just go after him at the same pace. Because that's what this first poem's about. It's called Violations Tested. Was driving to meet someone who had so little time off for work. Was running late, still a few miles on a stretch of 120 to their office. And although the sign said 30, I went 55, following a cop speeding down the street. So after about a mile, that copper turns on his lights and then signals me over. And he walked over to my Saturn, asked me if I knew how fast I was going. And I replied, saying, I don't know. I was just following you, sir. And I waited. If he wrote me a ticket, then there'd be a record that he was speeding while not in pursuit. If he wrote me a ticket, his faults would be found, and all cops want to think that they're invincible. So the cop finally said to me, after looking at me for more than a moment, watch what you're doing, and watch your speed in the future. That's all he said. And I nodded very, very subserviently. Yes, sir. And I, a little bit slower, went on my way. On the violations theme, this is called Violations in the Name of Love. A long time ago, a long-time friend was engaged to the man of her dreams. But she violated their trust when she started sleeping with a co-worker. She told me, I love this guy, but everyone loves my once fiancé. I told her, I hope it all works out. And apparently it did. Her longtime love forgave her, and the wedding was back on again. She even asked me to be a bridesmaid, but that's when everything started going so wrong. I responded to her every email, and even though I tried to appease, she still got enraged at me because I believed in truth. So, according to her, apparently honesty is not what friends are for. When I saw that there was no way this friend could ever be moral or honest, I told honest even to her friends or to the man that she'd marry or even to herself. That's when I ended our friendship. We were no longer friends, but because of our past, she invited me to her wedding. I didn't go to the church. If for lack of morality, I just thought a church seemed kind of inappropriate. But then I went to the reception on February 10th, just like everyone else, and complimented her dress. But they played country music, which isn't my style. So even though there was snow outside the reception hall doors, I went outside to dance with my love in the snow when the music might be more muted. A minute or two after the dancing, an old man walked outside and asked to cut in. My love smiled, and I was touched that the stranger saw us from the hall and joined in the snow to dance. In the name of love, these two once lovebirds chose a wedding day that was close to Valentine's Day. But 3 different men bearing that name were all murdered centuries after that day meant love. I suppose it makes me smile knowing that my parents were married on February 18th for Valentine's Day. But I should remember that the Valentine's Day before my dad was born was the Valentine's Day massacre with Al Capone in my hometown, killing even 7 guys from the other side. So, because sometimes Valentine's Day isn't pretty, and even though my once friend married near that day, that was only another sign to me that her marriage could never last. Years later, I hear from another woman who remained her bridesmaid that she's divorced now. Well, she should have known that violations in the name of love could never lead to happiness. Violations of that nature, no matter your implied intentions, will never set you free where true love is meant to be.
Wow.
Which mentions Antarctica, which you might hear from me in the next one. This short one that's called Hunting for Life. If you're on the hunt for aliens, start studying a rover in Antarctica. NASA's got their sights on Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, which bows and flexes from the tug and pull of its master planet's gravitational pull. Because, you see, these science types think that there's a giant ocean under all of Europa's ice. And what we've learned is that where there's water, there's often life. But with these elements, in these temperatures, if you're looking for life, you never know what you might really find.
Whoa.
Europa, yep.